keep getting ring cam notifications. I keep setting up my camera. Just kicking back out of here. Warm evening. And western San Antonio. Another pop-up live. Let's see if I see who might just pop in. Hello, player. How are you doing this evening? Oh, Analog Synth Player. Hey, that's a pretty cool name. Hope you're doing well and welcome in. I'm just sitting out here, got my mini fire pit lit, just taking it easy, enjoying the retired life. Gonna wait a little bit and I'm gonna talk about what I'm up to and see if a couple more people pop in, say hi. Usually I gradually get them come in. It's the nature of doing pop-ups and not scheduling. Even though eventually I do plan to start scheduling lives. I think it'd be quite a bit of fun to do that. Well, I will say, how's the weather in your area? Here it's warm, very humid. We've gotten a lot of rain over the last week, and we're in the low 90s, but it was warm enough to start evaporating the rain from the ground and started. Yo! Welcome in, Riker Erickson. Good to see you. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. Well, I dropped a video here today, had it drop at about 4 p.m. Central Time. And we did an event with San Antonio Missions Indian descendants at Mission San Jose, that's located south side of San Antonio. It was an interesting event, and got to meet up and talk with quite a few of the participants and people who had their booths set up. It was pretty cool. Also, when I got with the Mission Indian descendants, they had their big event in November. It's the Cristela Cortez King Fry Bread Social, and on that video I left a link to them, so if someone wanted to get hold of them and get info to be a participant. Hello, Eric, Angie, welcome in. And to be a participant, a vendor, or anybody who has something to show related to Native American, you know, artwork, um, information booths, history, uh, different tribes, they could set up a booth there. And I'm sure some other people are contacting them a different way so they can get connected to them. They're a very nice organization and ran by some very nice people. It's always great when we get a chance to meet up with them. And also, what's interesting about them, one of the local television stations here interviewed them, but they contacted me and they wanted to use some of the video clips I took of that event. And I was happy to let them do it. You know, it's all in good support to those people. Hey Luke, welcome in. Good to see you. How you doing tonight, Luke? Yeah, I mentioned about that. I have a couple more videos scheduled to come out, and I still got a video I need to download and do my editing to it. Uh, I met up with Matt out here and Donnie from Barton's RV in Uvalde. We did us a short hike at Cibolo Nature Center in Boerne, Texas. So that video will be coming up. Then plus I got the video of the event we went to yesterday. We're at back in Boerne, and they had what was called the Das Festival, kind of a German-based festival, and they had the vendors, live music. They even had winter dog races. And that was cute to see that. I'd never seen something like that before. I could have brought Jackie Boy, but he's not a wiener dog or a chihuahua. But I'm certain he would have outran ran those dogs if he didn't freak out with all the people around. But if you would have went for the run, I mean, for being a little dog, he is extremely fast. So that was a fun event. And then when I got back to Joanne's, we decided to put another video together, and that'll be posting tomorrow as a Taco Tuesday video. And what we made, you have to check the video out to see. Turned out to be a full on cooking video. So we had fun putting that video together. Just something real nice for us to do. Yeah, it's since we've been getting some good amount of rain here, hopefully, I mean, not hopefully, but some of the streams and that should be flowing a bit better, because we've been in a severe drought for the last 4 years. And some of the water courses are just, they were dry, or if they had big pools in them, they were very stagnant. And my background had been in water treatment, so when I saw that stagnant water, I was like, no, it's not safe to get in that water. So coming up, I'll probably be putting a kayak in the water somewhere. Maybe I'll talk to Donnie and we'll head out to places closer to where he lives at, near Uvalde, Texas. Either Garner State Park or Chalk Bluff, maybe the Camp Wood area. Or I could get with Matt out here and Donnie, and all three of us meet up at Bernie City Lake. Yeah, doing the kayak meetups are rather fun. Speaking of the kayaking, and one of the things, hello, hey, how you doing, Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla? Good to see you and welcome in. I hope you're doing well. That was a really cool fishing video y'all guys put out. That was fun to watch. And I always get a kick out of Jimmy Boy and the Beardo Caps. Yeah, it's a mini fire pit, just runs on propane. The last couple of times I had the main fire pit lit, since we've been wet enough that I wasn't worried about setting something else on fire with the embers. I had been using it. But tonight it's like in the mid 80s, very humid, It still worked, you just have to sit further away from it. But I had a propane bottle in this, and I said it'd be much easier to light the mini pit up. Hello, Francis. Welcome in. How are you? That is good. Uh, so I saw on Roy's live that you said you're going to be taking the Mondays off for the door dashing. My day was fine. I actually had a doctor's appointment earlier, and everything's fine. So Just one of those routine deals. Yeah, he does. He probably dances better than me. Yeah, he always puts on a fun lie. Oh, thank you, Fran. That's just one of those things, you know, it's a good idea to do after you're 60 years old. But I don't get around like a 60-year-old. I think I get around like a younger person, or at least in my mind I do. Yeah, and the one thing on the genealogy video, and I brought it out. Yeah, a lot of times I am. But I have to say this, I am slowing down a little bit. But everyone who hikes with me doesn't believe that. Oh, what was it? Oh, yeah, about the genealogy video. And Donnie and Matt out here had taken an interest to this, and it is back to the San Antonio Missions Indian descendants. In November, they had their fry bread social. Yeah, I'm known for the camera angles. That time that Troy and Jason's TX adventure when we met up at Palmetto State Park, Troy was saying that Kevin, you're giving away all your secrets. Howdy, Todd. How are you doing tonight? Hello, Kissy Cat. How are you? Yep, it's good to play Whack Control. I actually was going to have fun with that one, but. Hey, Jeff, welcome in. Well, thank you. I'm trying to think of y'all's name. Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla. I know it's you and Tammy, and I'm not recalling your first name right off, even though I mentioned it in the comments on your video. Jeff. Okay. Well, we got two Jeffs in the house. Got Jeff, the Calvin, the Boston Terriers, and Jeff with Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla. Um, I'm trying to recall where you're. Are you out of Michigan as well, Jeff, or is it Tammy? Oh, okay, Northwest Ohio. Oh, that's good to know. Actually, my dad came from southeastern Ohio along the Ohio River bend. Um, he was born in a town called Racine, Ohio, back in 1930. Yeah, there is some beautiful country and places in Ohio. Oh yeah, I thought when I last time I had visited there was in the late 70s. I always thought it was cool to see the riverboats on the Ohio River. I thought that was very cool to see. Yeah, and one of my uncles owned this property and had a cabin right on the Ohio River, right at the confluence of a creek there. And that was always a cool place to visit. Always had a lot of fun with that. Yeah, and I have a lot of relatives there in that part of Ohio. But my mom, she's from San Antonio. So, yes, they are. They are very interesting, and if you get differences of clarity of water, um, you can actually see some of the before it fully mixes. You can see a lot of the changes in that. Hey, Todd Longinus, welcome in. Good to see you, my friend. How you doing? Now we got two Jeffs in the house and two Todds. Now we'd be hard pressed to get two Francises in the house. Yeah, just doing a little relaxing pop up live by the mini fire pit. I'm doing well. Yeah, I see Todd Longinus a lot. I hope I'm saying your name right. Uh, I see him a lot, and I met him with a mutual friend, Brian from the Vineyard Farmhouse, and we get into some chat there when he does his lives on Wednesday night. Um, it's interesting to watch the Makers channel, which Todd is. Todd, Todd, quite quite a craftsman doing some woodworking, uh, and he can operate a lathe. It's it does some beautiful work. Yeah, it is fun to watch the Makers. You know, Even though myself, I'm not a maker. You're welcome, Todd. Anytime. No, he's inside right now. You know, next door neighbor, their fences need some repairs, and Jackie Boy's an escape artist. You don't think there's a weakness, and he'll find it. He'll get out. So even though I do need to bring him out here, and when I do bring him out, I still keep him, even though even though I let him roam free, but I still got the harness and leash. So if he attempts to escape, I can always step on the leash and pull him back. But I think he's getting a little less interested in running off like that. You know, it may be coming with his age. He's getting to be an old dog, and even though a lot of times he doesn't really show it, but I think he's just mellowing out and just wants to be chilled. Yeah, and speaking of dogs, when we were at that event in Burning, they actually, we actually went up there just to walk their square and that yesterday. But it turned out they had a festival going on. We didn't. Yeah, he is. He's kind of turning into a lap dog. But in the fall, when it comes hiking season for him, I get him out there. There's no lap dog there. He's going, and he tugs on the leash. Okay, thank you for coming in, Holly, and have a good night. Take care. It's good to see you. Holly is Kearney's Lounge. I think Fran and Todd know that. Thank you. Maybe I should call this my cheater fire. Well, it still has the ambience of a fire, but it's a little propane mini pit. It is convenient though. Yeah, I was busy over the weekend. Oh, no apologies necessary, Holly. Have a good night and get some rest. Take care. Yeah, if I wasn't busy this weekend, and also since Joanne is still working, I tend to make the weekends for her, you know, and I would need to cut and split some logs before I could light the main fire pit. Maybe I'll do that a little later on this week. Yeah, what's kinda nice, about the main fire pit, even though a lot of people don't like this type of wood, we have a lot of hackberry in this area, but I like it for the fire pit because it makes a nice blazing fire. Burns really fast, but it makes a good blazing fire. But I also got a tree here, and God, this wood is very hard. It's an elm that they call a cedar elm. And then plus, I have a bunch of mesquite wood. It makes me want to ask Todd, what is the most interesting wood that you've had to work with? I know he does a lot of turning on the lathe. Uh, just kind of curious about that. Oh, cool. I'm gonna have to look up the tree of heaven. I'm not familiar with it. Have you ever worked with mesquite, Todd? I know it's more of a wood to the southwestern United States. Kind of in mine and Fran's area. I know it's very dense wood, and I have seen some furniture made with it. But the problem is about the mesquite trees, they turn. Oh, interesting. And the mesquite, they don't grow straight. They're twisty. But the wood does have a very pretty grain. Whiter outer wood and kind of orange to red in the center, but very dense. Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with the Osage orange. Town we visited in West Texas when we stopped by one place and there was one of those trees growing there. Yeah, I will be on the trails with some other YouTubers, and I'm pretty good about pointing out the trees. I mean, of course, I don't know everything, but I'll point out a few trees. And in the wintertime here, we have the ash juniper, and I always whack the tree because in December through January, it spits out a lot of pollen. Oh, that's interesting. So the Osage orange is a harder wood if I'm reading that hardness rating right. I'm gonna have to look that up. That's pretty interesting to me to see something like that. I guess that kind of goes back to my science and engineering background. Okay, cool. I am definitely going to check that out. That's some of the things that kind of interest me, and maybe I can look up some of the local woods here. You know, I'm certain one of the woods I burn in my wood burning fire pit, hackberry, I'm certain it would be quite low on that scale. Oh, really? Imagine knowing mahogany. I know it's very beautiful wood. Trying to think is yeah, I'm not familiar with it being here. Yeah, yeah, I figured it would be low on the scale. I can tell you what family plants hackberries in, and this will surprise everyone. Hackberry is in the cannabis family. Um, I know the mesquites are in the legumes. They're in the pea family, pea and bean family, and what is interesting about the mesquites, when it puts on its beans, the mesquite beans, people will roast them and grind them into flour. And that flour is high protein. Even though it's low carb, it still is very sweet, and it actually has a molasses taste to it. Or let me say, it tastes similar to molasses. Yeah, and we're big about getting into the mesquite flower because of Joanne being Native American and being Native American, her people were basically at the Big Bend area along the Rio Grande in southwestern Texas. And you're out in that area, you actually find grinding in the stone where they were grinding the mesquite beans. I'm trying to think, and correct me if I'm wrong about this. Doesn't Gibson guitars in their solid body electric guitars mostly use mahogany? I know their fretboards are rosewood. Now, now the mesquite is great for grilling with. I wouldn't use it for a long smoke, but for a fairly quick grill, it gives a good smoky taste. But if it was done on a long smoke, then it would be very bitter. Oh, okay. And I'm not surprised about the maple either. You know. Yeah, but that sounds about right. You know. I bet it is. Gibson guitars are very pricey. I remember when I bought my Les Paul back in 1980. Um, the model I bought was called the Les Paul Firebrand. It's a discontinued model now, and I bought it for about 500 bucks back then. And the real nice thing about Gibsons is they hold up. You know, Those instruments last forever. I know also in this area there's the Texas live oak. It's uh, it's pretty much the same species as the southern live oak, and it's real common. Um, it's used a lot here for smoking brisket. Okay, Todd. Well, you have a good night. Thank you for coming in. It's always a pleasure. You're welcome by my campfire at any time. Take care, my friend. Yeah, that's one thing I get into. Uh, that just all relates to the things. I'm very much into science and nature. Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why I lasted so long from the job I retired from. It was a very science based job. It was a combination, chemistry, biology, engineering, uh, and I had a certain degree of background in all of those fields. Never a master of any of them. But the water sciences are pretty cool. Yeah, occasionally on a couple of the lives I popped in on, um, someone will bring up something about water, and I'm there. Okay, I know what you're talking about, or some guy's live I got on one time tried to say I didn't know what I was talking about and said I had some sort of political agenda why I was saying the things I was, and I was like, no, I'm just telling you something that is related to physical and chemical properties of water. I mean, put it like this: I never got on that guy's live streams again, and the unfortunate thing about him, I saw one of his live streams since he was a friend of Dennis, boondocking with Dennis, and he said about him passing away, and he goes, "Oh well, the guy was overweight anyway." And I was like, "WTF, dude?" You know, I said, "You're gonna regard somebody like that who considered you a friend and gonna be like that?" And I said, "You know what? No, no need to follow your channel. I don't care if you have 80K subscribers." But I was like, why bother with a person like that? Yeah, it was. I just thought that was so freaking ugly, and so uncalled for. There was no need for that person to say a comment like that. I mean, I'm like, people that follow this guy, I'm like, don't you get how this guy is? I mean, just really cold-blooded behavior. You know, hey, Brian Drums, welcome in, my friend. How you doing? Good to see you. And you want to talk about a dude who has some talent? That is Brian Drums. It's always fun to watch him do the drum covers he does. It's always fun. Oh, you're welcome, and thank you for your support as well. Yeah, we get into some chats. I was thinking one of the channels, one of the two channels, is either Jeff with Calvin the Boston Terrorist or Chris with Aries World. And they were there and they said, yeah, Brian Drums, man, that guy rocks. Definitely check him out. And I was on that live stream and I was also moderator. So I made sure I dropped your link on that live. Yeah. Yeah, what's also cool is, hello, Lucy Warrensworld. Welcome in. Good to see you. How are you? Just relaxing by the mini fire pit. Okay, Brian, you have a good evening. Take care. Oh, okay, Brian. I did not know where you were out of. You know, yeah, I know it's getting pretty late over there. Thank you, Brian. What's cool about Brian Drums? He does the drum covers, and he does it on some different genres. Uh, different times he does a lot rock, and he even does pop. I recall a time he was doing a Scorpions cover, and I'm like, hey Brian, you're hitting my area. Hey, hello, welcome in. Good to see you. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, hollow's kind of fun to watch. I mean, is fun to watch. What the heck am I saying? It catches those festivals in New York, and a lot of those things look like they would be a lot of fun to be at. And speaking of festivals, Sunday I went with Joanne. We're just gonna walk the main square of a town nearby, Boerne, Texas, and it turned out they had the Das Festival. You know, basically a German heritage festival in Boerne, Texas, and we didn't know they were having a festival until we showed up. Oh, thank you, Hala. So we went ahead and walked around that festival. They had a polka band playing. You know, they had a bunch of vendors. Of course, they had people selling alcohol. You know, food trucks and that. And then excuse me, I just got a child abduction alert. So we were there, and you know what? I put together a video of that. It's gonna be a few weeks. I haven't even downloaded it yet, um, but it should be a fun video. I don't know if you gotten a chance yet, Hala. You know, whatever you can. I understand. You know, people got yeah, I know it's not good, but I do like those alerts because if I was ever to see it, I see who or what, you know, I could at least, you know, get law enforcement involved into it, you know. Yeah, we're at that. Oh, the genealogy video is what I dropped today. Yeah, we were at one of the historic missions, and they had their event with the genealogy day. Got some very interesting information. Uh, One of the interesting things is at the time of the American Revolution, you know, Texas itself was still under the Spanish flag, you know, but the missions here in San Antonio were doing cattle production, and they were making cattle drives into, you know, the the colonies, and they were feeding the American revolutionaries, you know, feeding the patriots. So a lot of the food they were getting was coming out of Texas. And I did not know that until I was at that event. It was pretty interesting history that I picked up there. I did know Spain had declared war on England during the American Revolution, but I did not know that about the colonies. You know, there are colonies here in Texas that were supplying the rebels in the Revolutionary War. Yeah, what was cool about that video, I basically set it up. I mean, if I just ran through and filmed each booth, it wouldn't have been much content. So what I decided to do on that video was get the participants that had the booths and let them explain what they were doing. It was really cool. And of course, we did meet up with a group that we met up with several different times. Is San Antonio Missions Indian Descendants, and of course they always participate on my YouTube videos. And what's interesting about that group, they contacted me here recently, and they were doing uh, an interview with one of the local TV stations here, and that TV station was, would it be okay if we use some of my video clips? And I thought that was pretty cool that a local TV station would have liked to have used anything that I'd put out there. I thought uh, I thought that was quite a compliment. Yeah, yeah, it is, and I love learning new things as well. And also, like I said, no place is better than any other. Just find what's really cool about the place. I mean, there are places that Hollow's at I would love to see. You know, they ended up using it. I wasn't given actual credit, but I'm not that concerned about that. But I thought it was really cool that they did that. But who gave me credit on it, and it was more of their Facebook page, was San Antonio Missions Indian Descendants. They're like, you know, they're like, thanks to Kevin, for doing this stuff and supporting us. I mean, yeah, it would have been nice to get the credit. It would have been nice if they would have put my channel link on it, But it is what it is. But I did give them permission because it was more in support of the Mission Indian descendants. But the clips were very quick. Yeah, it would have been. It would have been really cool if they did that. But I'm still fine with how they did it. But on their YouTube, on their post on the YouTube, you know, all I did was leave a comment saying, "Hey, it was so cool that you asked me to use the video clips," you know. But it wasn't very much. It was only a few seconds. Yeah, and they weren't interested. What was interesting about this is I'm certain they set up the interview with this group, and they were like, I'm certain they asked, "Did you have any video of it?" And they were probably, "No, we don't have any video of it." But they're right away saying there's a YouTube channel, Hiking with Jackie Boy, who did put a video out on it. And that's when they contacted me and they said they want to use some of your video clips, can they? And I told them, yeah, go ahead. Hey, Plywood, welcome in. How are you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, better than nothing. It's something. What's that song? Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Who is that? God, I can't think of the artist's name. Hey, what was also fun, we did that festival, and they had the polka bands playing there. They had the wiener dog races, you know. And when we went to visit that town, we were just meaning to do a walk through the square. There you go. Who started us, Hala? And we went to walk through and just do that. But the other thing was when I got back to Joanne's place, we went ahead and put together a Taco Tuesday video. And I normally drop my videos 4 p.m. Central Time every Monday. And hey, Chris, welcome in. Chris from Marysville. So we decided to put together a Taco Tuesday video. And of course, the Taco Tuesday videos gotta be dropped on a Tuesday. So I dropped a video today, but I'm also dropping a video Taco Tuesday video tomorrow. Actually, it's kind of different in what we did. We actually made it an outright cooking video. So, so it's a bit different than what I would normally do, and it's mostly Joanne on this video. So, oh, and by the way, Joanne can cook. Oh boy, she can cook. It's been a while that I've dropped two videos in 1 week. I've been trying to space them out, and actually, I got them spaced out into July. Well, little bit in July. July's not that far away, but I still got that festival video. I haven't even downloaded it yet, but it'll be coming. You know. Yeah, definitely. She can cook and I can eat. Yeah. Now I was thinking of another event, and we're not decided yet if we're gonna do this event. Um, it's out in West Texas. It's called Horsehead Crossing, and I would really love to visit that place. Uh, it's River Ford, um, over the Pecos River in West Texas. And how it got its name is because of the donkeys or mules or horses that died. Well, they marked the ford with their skulls, so they called it Horsehead Crossing. And hopefully we can make that event. You know, when we were at Fort Stockton earlier this year, we were invited to it. Probably about 300 miles. Yeah, I mentioned with Jeff from Calvin the Boston Terrier. So I said, oh, it's about 80 miles from me. And he's in Providence, Rhode Island, and he says, I'd be out of state going that far. And I said, well, maybe I'll take a drive to El Paso. How far is that? Oh, over 500 miles. Oh, really? I bet it's some interesting history. What's interesting, you just see those names and you start thinking, what is this all about? Oh no, yeah, we'd probably be staying there, or or if we go to that event, we'll be staying in a nearby town. Like earlier this year when we did the historic Fort Stockton days, we actually stayed in Fort Stockton because I mean it's a long drive, you know. I recall when we would go to the Marfa Lights festivals, you know, Marfa, Texas is well over 300, more like 350 miles away from me. And we would stay there in Marfa. And what was cool about that is we would and we would were able to stay there because of a grant from the Texas Humanities. So so we'd have our room and board paid for. Yeah, that happens, Hala. Sometimes you just get busy. Probably one of the next times that Joanne and I do some traveling, I just might slap the phone to the mount in my windshield and say, let's go. Yeah, but here I'm already ready for fall and cooler weather, and I know it's months away already. You know, we have gotten a lot of rain here recently, but now we're warming up and the heat is evaporating all that moisture out. So we're much more humid than we'd usually be, even though San Antonio is not a dry heat, it's a wet heat. We've had some ridiculous heat indexes, you know, where the feels like temperature is 117, even though the temperature is only in the low 90s. Oh, it's cool that you're giving the horses or the unicorns. Yep, with Thala saying Dead Horse Bay and me saying Horsehead Crossing. Yeah, but I would love to go out to that event. A lot of frontier history. frontier in Texas and Native American history. I think it would be a real cool event to attend. Yeah, I don't either. I actually can tolerate it, but I don't like it. You know, when you come out and you're barely moving and you're sweating, you're sweating profusely. You know. Yeah, for the 30 years I worked with the San Antonio water system, I would end up working in all types of weather, you know, and it was usually May through October, and I was like, come on, cool down already, you know. I guess the temperature ranges I ever worked in, and I'm not talking about feels like temperatures. I'd been out there working when it was 110 degrees, and the coldest I ever worked in was about 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, the 110 degrees was, I think, in about 2003 or 4. And I know the 10 degrees was in 2021 when we actually, and this is very rare that something like this happens here, we had a week's worth of snow. And the power providers and the natural gas providers weren't prepared for it. And we ended up having electrical issues because of that. Total fiasco. Hey, Yellow Marker, welcome in. Good to see you. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, yes, we did. At the treatment plant I was at, did have backup generators, but one of the things that happened with them is even though we had extra fuel online, but after about 2 days, we started running out of diesel. And we were scrambling. We were even going to the local gas stations, even though their gasoline was gone, they still had diesel. We were using company credit cards to fill big old gas cans full of diesel. Oh yeah, that would be cool. And that you mentioned wastewater, that was my field. I was working in wastewater. Well, most of the flow into that plant was gravity, so that flow was coming, regardless. But our headworks of that plant uh, relied on pumps, so that became a problem. But we managed to fight through that, and good God, it was a fight through it. We never spilled any raw sewage at all. But we did have other issues because the power uh, that we did release partially treated water, but they put us in a situation where there was really very little we could do. Um, that particular plant I worked at used ultraviolet for disinfection, so we had the numbers down a bit. Oh, I bet it was. It's actually a pretty interesting field. I always get asked, how much chemicals do you use to treat that water? And for the most part, wastewater treatment plants don't use any chemicals. They use it's a biological treatment. There are certain processes that they do use some chemicals, like the sludge dewatering. They'll use things like either alum or different types of polymer for the thickening, but that's what they use it for. And some of the other treatment plants that were in the same company I was working, they would use chlorine for disinfection, and they would use sulfur dioxide for chlorine neutralizing. You know what? I need to look back on that. You know, that was a shame. Is at the treatment plant, I was like, man, I could have done some great videos out here. And of course, company, no, you can't do that. They already knew I had a YouTube channel up before I retired. Nope, can't do it. Oh, that's cool. And I imagine New York City, that plant is probably huge, Tim. Or they have multiple plants. I know this is going to be an off question for you, Hala. And I will ask it. Did you know the capacity of the plant you visited? Like, The plant I retired from, average flow was about 12 million gallons a day. It was capable of handling 36 million gallons a day. Another plant I worked at, uh, its average flow was about 40 million gallons a day. Its capacity was, 60 million gallons a day. And then the big boy plant here in San Antonio, this plant would average, 120 million gallons a day, but uh, it could easily handle 250 million gallons a day. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about there, Hala. Uh, the sludge digestion age. Yeah, it was. They probably look like an egg, but they're anaerobic digesters. Uh, they break down the solids. They break it down into gases and water and a stabilized solid portion. Yep, anaerobic digester. I'm gonna have to go back through your videos and look. And that is definitely something I would be interested in seeing. Yeah, it is, Chris. But this is San Antonio. But uh, like Dallas and Houston have plants that far dwarf where I worked at. One of the cool things. Oh, I bet you did a fine job. I will look back on your channel and find that. I would definitely love to see that. I've done a couple videos where I toured a wetlands on the south side of San Antonio called the Mitchell Lake Wetlands. And what this place used to be from like the 1930s up until the 1980s was a catch all plant for the waste activated sludge from a older treatment plant there. And of course, now they don't allow that type of process. But that water's been there, has been sitting there forever, and it's become a bird sanctuary. It's called the Mitchell Lake Wetlands. And I thought it was so cool when I did work out there and we'd do our water diverting and pumping water into it and seeing all the wildlife out there. We'd have a variety of egrets, sandhill cranes, uh, blue herons, roseate spoonbills, And there was one evening I was working, and it'd be unusual for me to be working in the evening, but there was a need for me to be out there at that time. And once I got things settled down, I decided to go out to the Mitchell Lake wetlands, and I actually saw a mountain lion out there. And it was interesting to see this cat because when I first saw it, I was like, what is that? That's unusual. And then I was thinking dog, and then I saw the long tail, and I was like, holy crap, that's a mountain lion. It was really interesting to see that big cat out there. Of course, when I mentioned it to safety people, well, you need to report it to this, and I was like, I don't have any proof of the sighting. Yeah. I couldn't get a video or anything else. Oh, yeah, I will mention this. One of the parks I visit quite a bit is Lost Maple State Natural Area. But at that park was the first mountain lion sighting I've ever seen. Yeah, I know what you mean. If you see them, you have to be very careful. You know, fortunately, they don't usually go after people, but they can. Uh, just gotta be aware of them. Yeah, they might be. Now, I've been out on a hiking trail where Jackie Boy just decides to bark at something. He's looking and barking, and I'm not seeing anything. Sometimes, and I don't know this for certain, but I'm wondering if he's noticed one of those big ass cats like that. But one thing, if I'm hiking in an area that there may be something like that there, especially the hikes that get further towards West Texas. I do carry means of protection, you know. So if one of those big cats did come out after me, it would not be very well for the cat. But in the majority of cases, even with the mountain lion, they don't want to mess with the person. They, it, we're not on usually on their menu unless they're very hungry. And I don't want to ever put this to the test, But they do say if you're attacked by a mountain lion, they say fight back. But what else is getting interesting is we started, and I think it happened in the 80s or 90s, sometime in Big Bend National Park. The Mexican black bears started returning to Big Bend National Park. Oh, that's so true. Yeah, I'm more worried about the unfriendly human. Yeah, to every other human, the biggest threat is another human. Sad to say. But those black bears started returning, and to Texas Hill Country, which is not that far away from me, they're starting to appear there, you know. No, that reminds me, Hala, what one time Joanne and I were coming back. We're coming back from Presidio, Texas, which is in far west Texas, and we're coming back this way. We're about halfway back, and it's early September. It's still ungodly hot out here, and we stop at a picnic area, you know, just to stop, and then y- a couple immigrants approached us, you know, and of course they're speaking Spanish, and my Spanish is very limited, but Joanne's totally fluent with it. And all these guys asked of us if we had some water. But what we did is we gave them water. We had a partial loaf of bread. We had some lunch meat and some cheese, you know, some mayonnaise, you know. We went ahead and set them up with a bunch of sandwiches, you know. I mean, regardless of what your views on immigration is, if you actually see the person and you know they're in need, you know, you still gotta, you know, you still, you know, you still gotta be humane, you know. Definitely, you know. I did have someone tell me I would have told them, you know, tough, you know, not giving you water. I'm like, really? You know, I mean, these guys, they're desperate and they weren't meaning no harm. And regardless, you know, If I would have told them no, I would have felt horrible about it later. I would have been like, I could have spared some water. But instead of sparing water, well, we did spare water, but we also gave them food. We also had a half bag of Doritos, which odds are we wouldn't finish, yeah. Now, I like to put myself in other people's shoes, If I was in their situation, oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, Yala. Yeah, and that's exactly how we felt too. What are these guys up to? And when they came up, they had basically hands up. But I still had in my mind, are these guys trying to pull a trick? But they didn't. They were totally sincere about what they were doing. They just wanted some water. But we gave them a little more. But I agree, being approached in a desolate area, you don't know what the person may be up to. No, that reminds me of there's a different group of people, the Texas backpackers. I'm YouTube friends with quite a few of them. You know, uh, they were at a state park in the hill country, and with this group, there's a couple ladies that are in that group, and most of them some different guys, and they had this guy walk into the camp, and he approached the ladies, and he was totally naked, and they were able to contact the park and told them what was going on. And Texas state troopers appeared. They ended up arresting him. He wasn't even supposed to be in the park. And, and his campsite, they found his dog, and they found out he was armed. He had a firearm with him. Of course, that freaked everyone out. One of the best stories, best explanations of that event was a friend of mine. The guy's named Jerry. His channel is Tangent Trail. And For the last 3 years, we've been meeting him and his wife in Fredericksburg, Texas for the Christmas tree lighting Thanksgiving week, you know. But he gave a really good explanation what happened. Hello, up Timbo family. Well, for me, it'd be good evening and definitely welcome. How are you? How are you doing in Switzerland? Definitely good to see you. Oh, okay. Yeah. Don't say work here. Work is a four-letter word. I'm just kidding. I'm enjoying retired life. But it's definitely good to see you. How's the weather in Switzerland right now? It's warm and a little humid right now, but I mean, right now, since it's late evening, it's not bad. Yeah, I definitely. Hey, Donnie, welcome in. Good to see you. How you doing? Hey, Donnie, we need make us. We don't need to, but we need to consider doing us a kayaking adventure. Yeah, I got the notification that you're live, but I was already on my live stream. Donnie's a good dude and a personal friend. Oh, that's okay, Holly. You gotta call it a night, you know. Please do so. Yeah, I know it's getting pretty late for you. Yeah, for some reason I always get yours. Yeah, that's the funny thing of YouTube. No worries. Yeah, I was thinking kayaking maybe more towards your area. I may just do a solo in Bernie City Lake again. Yeah, I like your comment about saying I'm looking forward to the fry bread social, Donnie. I also let Matt know about that. Maybe we could do a small meetup at the Fry Bread Social, and the Mission Indian descendants would appreciate it. Oh yeah, yeah, but they got their little plug out on my channel. You know, I was a little surprised over a week ago. I get message on Facebook from Diane from that group, and it was like, yeah, News Force San Antonio wants to use your video. And I was like, yeah, go ahead. That was pretty cool that they asked for it. Little bit of a bummer that they didn't give me credit, though. Oh, yeah. Yeah, those fry bear bread tacos are delicious. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, but the next fry bread social, we'll probably be there a bit early. Joanne may have a booth set up, and doing the Humano registry, and she may be selling ribbon skirts. Yeah, the ribbon skirts, the video clips were do see 'em. So that was kind of fun, a really fun event to be at. Yeah, maybe on the next Fry Bread social, maybe Kathy can come with you. That would be so cool. But I mean, that's in November, so that remains to be seen. And also, I'm just gonna call them Salmon, you know, San Antonio, know the name. I mean, I think they appreciate what I do, you know. And another thing, I have not heard anything about the Texas Tribal Buffalo Ranch doing anything. Usually I end up hearing about them about a week before you know, anything else. Well, I've been on this live stream for 2 hours, you know, so I think it's time for me to shut this down. I want to thank everyone who came in, and I know a lot of them are still not here, but Donnie, Holla, there's Plywood, Todd Longinus, Todd Saw, Fran, you know. So I think I've been here long enough. Hey, the one thing, there was a troll on here earlier, and someone whacked him earlier, but I was gonna have fun with him. He made a comment that I was gonna roll with, but someone whacked him. It's not a bad thing. So I think it's time for me to shut this live down. Thank you, Donnie, Holla, everyone else. Oh, yeah. I'm hoping with this live it puts me over 3K on watch hours. 'Cause I'm only like about 8 hours away. Nope. I don't work at all, Tornado Garden. Well, it's time for me to go. So, everyone have a good night. Take care and stay blessed. I will be seeing y'all soon.